Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be diving into one of VulnHub machines, which is Shenron 2. The link will be put into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's jump in and dive into this wonderful machine on the VulnHub. I've already imported the image into the VirtualBox, so then we can head over to Kali Linux. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use would be netdiscover, although sometimes we need to use other kinds of tools to do IP address discovery. Let's press enter. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be recognized as 167. The first IP address is or belongs to internal DHCP server of VirtualBox, and the second one is assigned to the host machine, in my case, Windows host. So then, what are we going to do next? We need to perform port and self-scanning with the map. To save time of this video, I've already done that earlier, so now we can get out its result. As you can see over here, I took the options like SyncScan, the default script scan, and virtual scan followed by the -p- or full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So then we can retrieve map scanning results when necessary. Although you can notice here, the IP address has been changed as I re-imported the machine into the VirtualBox. So this time, different IP address has been assigned to the target machine by internal DHCP server of VirtualBox. So from the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3 open ports. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service or secure shell service. And also the version information, open SSH, including its version number 8.2. I do not think we can find any workable vulnerability or exploit for this particular version. And the second one is 80, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information Apache 2. And the last one is 8080, which is also running HTTP service, and also the version information Apache 2. And also, I think from the generator and the title, we can tell that this port number is actually running WordPress. I think you can know what WordPress means when we get it there. Okay, although I've already demonstrated this CMS, WordPress, and also like Joomla a lot throughout my channel. So what are we going to do next? I think we need to emulate both web applications, both manually and automatically. Let's fire up the browser to do the manual emulation. For this port number, let's open up the browser and put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Press enter. So highlights of HTML5. Yeah, very beautiful site. Although here, this looks like hyperlink, but it's not. It's some kind of anchor. If you click, we just relocate to this section of this page. And next we can check its source code. A lot of HTML markup code, but I don't think they are useful from the perspective of penetration. Okay, so next we can check whether this site has robots file. Robots file contains the entries or protocol for the crawler. And I think for any pen tester, we need to check robots file. Okay, now nothing here or not found. Next, we can launch the Nicto to do the automatic enumeration. Let's specify the URL of the target with option of -h. Now we can press enter. In the meantime, we can take a look at the port number 8080. 8080, press enter. So I think, yes, indeed, this port number is running a WordPress application. However, this site is not rendered completely. So I think it's a very common phenomenon if we didn't specify the host file. Okay, we can check its source code. And here, yes, there is host name Shenron. And so I think we need to append this host name to the host file. And I can press enter. As you can see, this time I use command line. And this command line combines two commands, echo, and the output of this echo command would be the input of the previous command. Oh, sorry, would be the input of the next command. This case is T, because I use pipe operator. Okay. So now if we go back to the browser and refresh this site, then this application is running properly. Okay. But before we go any further, I'd like to go back to the output of Nicto against the port number 80. And so that we can get the version information, request header information, images. Maybe we can have a look at this directory. But nothing special here. Next, license. If you want, you can check this license text file. So I think next we can launch the GoBuster to do the directory enumeration, right? And we can specify the IP address of the target. And then we can use option of -w to specify the word list. And I always use this word list to conduct directory enumeration or for other purpose. Okay, and also use the option of X option to specify the extensions. Okay, press enter. In the meantime, we can use Nicto to conduct automatic enumeration against the second port number 8080, so we can run multiple jobs at the same time. So as you can see over here, GoBuster has already found some directories like assets and files. So now we can take a look at the assets directory manually with browser. Assets. Sorry, there is doorbell. All right, I'm back. And let's take a look at this directory assets. CSS, nothing here. About the fonts, just some files for fonts and JavaScript. Nothing here. SAS. So I don't think we can find any vector from this application which is running on the port number 80. We should turn our focus on the second port number, okay, which is running actually WordPress application. So let me interrupt the GoBuster and let's switch to the second tab. I think it's done with Ligato and nothing very interesting. We have already know that the target or this application is running WordPress. So something like WordPress content, login, they are all default directories or files for the WordPress installations. Okay? And also if you want, we can, conduct directory enumeration with the second port number. If you are doing the web enumeration, I think it's very important not to neglect any important step. Otherwise, you will miss something important or sensitive. But it's not the case. GoBuster, although can find some files and directories, but they are not very important in this context. So I'd like to interrupt GoBuster here. So what are we going to do next? We need to perform specific enumeration with WordPress. So how to do? We can use WordPress scan. Let me use the option of E. Oh, sorry, the IP address should be 167. And the option of -E to specify the username and plugin, because I want to enumerate both username and plugin. Although in this case, okay, it's very quick. Users have been identified, then we can conduct brute force against this user, admin, and password. We can use word list of locule as dictionary. Although here I use the option of P, right? But this kind of enumeration is not so comprehensive. If you want to conduct much more comprehensive enumeration with plugins, we need to use a specialized option. And so while this utility is conducting brute forcing, I'd like to show you how to get the help to perform comprehensive enumeration for plugins. We can use the H option, and then you can get this option name, plugins detection, and we can set it to mixed. Mixed means we'll conduct both. We'll utilize a passive and aggressive way to enumerate plugin. Okay. I don't think we can crack the password within a reasonable period of time. So I'd like to interrupt this cracking. So next, I'd like to perform more comprehensive enumeration with plugin. Okay, so I think we can copy because we cannot remember a lot of things, right? So I think what we need to learn is methodology and the techniques, okay? And the mixed. And now it's emulating all plugins via passive and aggressive methods. This is going to take a bit of while, so I'd like to pause the recording. All right, it's done. Now let's take a look at output from this command. So I think we have already taken advantage of this option, plugin detection, to successfully identify several plugins. This one is not vulnerable at all if you have already done a lot of CTF-like machines, okay? But this one we can copy, and also we can get its version, so we can use such a sprite. Maybe we need to remove hyphen. Sometimes, you know, the representation is different between or across different utilities. Let's press enter. However, no results. So class editor, and how about that we put the hyphen? No results. So it's not vulnerable. So how about any mentor? And we can put over here, hit enter. And also we can get its version, right? 3.1.4. So website builder. Maybe this one we can, maybe or possibly we can utilize this exploit. But before I'm trying to use this exploit, I'd like to search another plugin, okay? After all, we need to find low hang fruit, okay? And remove. I think the version we can get, this is the local file inclusion vulnerability. So I think we can get this, maybe should be tried first. We can use such a sprite with option of M, and then we can get its copy. Although this is text rather than exploit code, we can take a look at this exploit. So this is the POC. So I think we simply copy this path, and we can use Q. And of course, 8080, and paste over here to see whether we can retrieve the content of password file by this vulnerability or file inclusion vulnerability. Let's press enter. Fantastic. This output confirms the target application, or specifically this version of a plugin is vulnerable to local file inclusion vulnerability. And we can find two normal users, Jenny and Shenron. Okay? So now what can we do next? We need, so far, or now that we have already confirmed this vulnerability, we need to, we need to try to get the share on the target. And to do that, we need to, find or gather more information. Like we can check weather. We can access private key. But nothing here, nothing returned. Or success, the stated is false. So how about another user? Jenny? No. So next we can try to access log file. Nothing returned. So how about Apache 2 access log? As we know, the target of both applications are running Apache 2, but nothing returned. So didn't load shortcodes pattern file. So what can we do next? Because although we have already know that the target is vulnerable to local file inclusion vulnerability, however, we cannot, exploit this vulnerability for further, or for further actions such as gaining share on the target. Oh, sorry, I forgot to test remote file inclusion vulnerability. Sometimes the application exits both local and remote file inclusion vulnerability. So how to test? We can create the file like hello or test. And then we can set up a web server on the Kali Linux. So now we can try to access the Kali Linux test, but nothing returned. So I think now what can we do next? So far we know the target is running SSH service, and also we know the target machine has two normal users, Jenny and Shenron. So next, I think we can try to crack the password for the SSH service, okay? And I'm going to use Hydra, very powerful utility, okay? So Hydra, I'd like to complete this command and do some small change here. So I use the option of -L option to specify the username, and then use uppercase P to specify password dictionary. In this case, I use locule word list, and then specify the service SSH and also the target's IP address or host name. And here, this case, I use the option of -E, although this is not required. This the reason why I put the option of -E here, it means the Hydra will try the blank password, will use the username as password or reversed username to log in. Sometimes the passwords are very stupid, okay? So now we can press enter. As you can see now, very beautiful, very quickly, we get the password for this user. And also we can do the same attacks for another user, okay? But I don't think we can crack it successfully within a reasonable period of time, okay? I'm going to interrupt it here. So now I think we can SSH to the target with these credentials, right? Yes, and Jenny. And now we are in the target machine, or we have already got the shell. So then we can use the SSH to send commands over, encrypted tunnel. Maybe I can press keys Ctrl-Shift and L at the same time to clear the screen. And we can run ls command with options of ALH altogether. So now we need to gather information. Bash history, but nothing here. The desktop, nothing here. Documents, nothing here. Nothing here. Next, we can navigate to OPT directory. Nothing here. About var backups. Okay, nothing here. Go to www directory, HTML directory. Nothing here. And the next, I think now also we can run ID. So we can get the user identity and also the membership of the current user. Okay, so what can we do next? Also, we can run sudo and Jenny, but current user may not run sudo on this machine. So next, I'd like to run command find, very powerful command in Linux. And I'd like to find files starting from root of this machine. And I will use option of perm-4000. And the type is a file rather than directory. And then I will redirect all error to the special now device. So what this command is going to do? This command is trying to find all binaries, all files, not just binaries, all files which contain SUID bit. Okay? And now we can press enter. And I think without much difficulty, we can notice this file. And this is not standard command like su, like sudo. So now we can check this file being execute. So yes, we can see the SUID bit and the owner is root. So we can try to run this command. But nothing happened, right? And we didn't change our membership. So what's going on here? Maybe we can use a file command to get its type. So this is the 64-bit executable. So I think next we need to do some reverse engineering with this binary. Before we try to use very powerful tools like Ghidra or something else, we can use a strings command to retrieve the executable, the readable characters inside this binary. However, strings is not found. So I think we need to transfer this binary to our Linux for further analysis. So how to do? I'd like to get this binary to temp directory, and I'm going to use netcat to transfer. We can set up the listener on the Linux, waiting for collection from the target. Okay, And now we can use cat command to retrieve the data from this file, execute, and then use pipe operator. So the output of the cat will be input of the next command. So netcat IP address of the Kali Linux and port number, press enter. So now, as you can see, we have already received the data from the target machine, and this is the size. We can make it executable, and then we can use strings and a lot of readable characters. So I think here, although we cannot get the entire logic of this binary, but I think it's not difficult to know. Maybe this binary will do something like copy the bash. This is the bash file to the MNT. This is the directory in the Linux, and then change mode, and also change owner to the another user, Shenron, and also add the SUID bit to this binary. So let's go back. So I think now I think we can find the bash file under the MNT directory, because just now we have already executed this. This one. Yeah, we have already executed the execute binary. Okay, and as you can see over here, so we have the bash, and the owner is Shenron, and so I think we can run this bash to make a lateral movement. So how to do? We can run bash with option of -p. -p will retain the privilege, or EUID and EGID will not drop privilege. Okay, so now if we run this and then you run ID command, as you can see over here, we got something different. The EUID is Shenron. Now I think we can navigate back to home directory, go to Shenron home directory, and we need to gather more information, right? So nothing here. How about desktop? And we can grab the user flag without any issue. So how about the pass? This should be the password, right? Because the name itself implies very clearly. However, maybe this is encoded, so we can, use the base 64, but the output is some kinds of gibberish. Maybe it's not 64. So how about 32? So I think from the output, we can guess possibly this is a password for this user. So then we can change to another user, and we can copy this very, very long password. We can copy and paste in here. It does work. So fantastic. Next, we can run sudo again and paste the password. Even we can run any command without password of the root user. So we can run bash, and then we have already become the root user. Navigate to root directory to grab the root flag without any problem. So I think that's pretty much it. See you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.